Thank y'all for coming in, tuning in on tonight. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, give some of our viewers time to come in. I am so excited about our 13-day healing workshop. That I am. So we are live on Facebook and YouTube tonight. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like and share. Subscribe to the channel. Follow the page. Whichever platform you're on, go ahead and like and share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, so you can be notified when Broken Rib Ministry is going live, as well as when we share some encouraging content that will help you on your healing journey to be healed, whole, and free. Yes. I'm excited, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'll wait a few minutes. It is 8:02. I'm going to go ahead and get started simply because, you guys, I do have a meeting. So I know those that are already following and subscribe to Broken Rib Ministry will come and see the replay. And when you do come and see the replay, I'm asking that you would like and share and follow and subscribe and do all that stuff even then at that time. But I just want to say once again, thank you guys for tuning in to YouTube or Facebook, whichever platform you're on tonight. But I want to start by asking you all a question. Have you ever been broken in a place where you didn't feel like you could recover from it? I'm going to let that sit there a little bit. Because sometimes we can be in denial. But if you are like most of us, and you can relate to that, then this book, Broken Rib, Created to Heal, is for you. This book will not only help you confront pain and uproot bitterness as you heal from divorce, from loss, from identity crisis or trauma and emotional wounds, but it'll also help you to discover your God-given identity and purpose through embracing a life of abundance, healing, and freedom as you are trusting God to unveil you in His perfect timing. So if you're ready to turn your pain into power and your scars into testimonies, then join me as we dive into the chapters of this book to push you through your healing journey. So whether you're on YouTube or you're on watching us through Facebook, I truly believe that before these 13 days are over, not only will you be healed, but you will be on your way to being whole and free. Today is day 1 of this 13-day healing journey, or should I say 13 nights healing journey, simply because we will be going live nightly at 8 p.m. for the next 12 nights now. But I truly believe that your life will be changed. This changed my life. This whole journey, the purpose of writing this book is because it wasn't until I started to believe that I didn't break to stay broken that I was able to receive that I could become stronger in the very place that I have been broken. When a rib breaks in the body, it actually grows back stronger in a place where it was broken, whether you believe it or not. But as it heals, because it has to heal naturally, the recovery time, it varies, and it varies depending on the type of break and the severity of the injury. So this process, it can be more painful though than the initial impact that caused the break. Most of the time in the midst of the initial impact, your adrenaline is rushing. You know that it hurt, but you just can't really feel the depth of the pain. It's not until you sit still and you're trying to heal from it that you are able to be in tune and recognize how painful the break really is. But in this time is nothing that nobody can do to ease the pain, to speed up the process, or nothing. Everybody that's in your presence, that's there with you, they literally just have to sit with you and go through this thing with you and basically ride it out with you and just let it do what it do. Well, during that time, it feels like it's no way that this is working for my good. There's no way that this could be making me stronger. But I came to tell somebody on tonight, that thing that broke you will make you stronger if you trust the process and let God heal you. I'm going to start out by, we're going to be going into our first chapter, which is titled, Stronger at the Break. A lot of times when we've been put in situations or circumstances that break us to the core, we start to think and feel as if it has disqualified us. Whether it's a divorce or betrayal or losing a job or losing people or even losing ourselves, we think that that's the end. But really, that's the beginning. That's the beginning of a new beginning, a new you. You seeing God in a way that you've never saw him before. And this is where most people kind of go wrong when they get in that place, because of course you feel as if it's the end, you think it's the end, you feel like it's over, you feel like you just disqualified from being able to be a wife, be married, or even if it's from a job, you feel like you're disqualified from working in that field, you're not good enough. But it's not. In order for us to see it as our new beginning and allow it to be a new beginning, we have to go through the grieving process. That is feeling it, allowing ourselves to feel it and being real about what we feel. Grieving requires us to be uncomfortable. You got to be vulnerable, and you got to be willing to feel all the emotions that we usually try to escape when we're going through something. Because we don't just grieve people, we grieve potential, we grieve the expectations that we had, we grieve the dreams that we had. And healing doesn't start when you move on, but it starts when you choose to feel. When you feel it, when you stop saying that I'm fine and start being honest and say that hurt me. Some of us have had to divorce our spouse, and more times than often we think that it's over once we sign the papers or we move on and find another person, but it's not. There's a grieving process that we must face before we can truly heal. So whether you have had to divorce your spouse, or you had to divorce your old self, or you had to leave your job, which I'm going to say now, divorce your job or your certain career, divorce family and leave them behind, or certain friends, or even comfortable places that no longer serve their purpose in your life. It's still a grieving process that can't be skipped. We have to divorce that potential and the dreams and the expectations and allow ourselves to really feel the loss and the separation and the severing of the connection to those people or the places or those things. As we're going through this healing process, as we're healing from the break, we not only have to grieve and allow ourselves to go through the grieving process of feeling everything, but we have to learn to forgive while we're in that place. And this is the part that nobody likes. Most people for sure run from this space from this part of it. Because forgiveness is not saying that it didn't hurt me. It's not even saying that what happened to you is okay. It's saying that I refuse to carry this anymore. Some of us don't just need to forgive our offender. We need to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive ourselves for staying too long, or for ignoring certain signs, or for settling, or for not knowing what we know now. Some of us can be very hard on ourselves because once you've found yourself in this broken place and you're deciding to heal, you start to see clearer than you ever had. And so we start being hard on ourselves as if I should have known better than that, or why did I even allow this, or I allowed that. And we allow our inner me to be our worst enemy. And we are so critical of ourselves, and we begin to sabotage the process. We begin to even sabotage new connections that God is giving us in the midst of us going through the process. So we have to be very careful to make sure that we are we're forgiving ourselves, because you didn't know that then and you allowed that then, but you did the best that you could with who you were at that time. So you have to give yourself grace and tell yourself, I'm not who I was then. This is me now. And deal with yourself as well as your circumstance according to that. The other day, I was talking to a sister of mine, and she said, how do you know that you've forgiven someone? Well, you will know that you've forgiven them when their name doesn't trigger you. Their presence doesn't disturb your peace. The memory of what you went through, it doesn't make you angry or resentful anymore. That doesn't mean, forgiveness doesn't mean that you forgot. It means that you're choosing to be free. You're choosing to be free from that situation, from the circumstances, from the pain of it. The beautiful part of choosing freedom through this forgiveness in the grieving process is that you get a chance to reset. You get a chance to reset after the break, to rebuild after the break, and for everything in you to be made new, to be whole. But in order for you to experience this reset, to see this reset as something beautiful, you have to first trust yourself again. Because many times after being broken, we stop trusting ourselves to make decisions. But healing teaches us that I can trust me again. I see clearly now. I choose better. I'm not who I was. Healing does that for us. Then you have to learn to trust God. Trust God again, because sometimes the hardest part is trusting God after you've been broken. Because we'll find ourselves asking God, why did I allow this? Well, why did He allow this? Why did He allow you to go through what you went through, or for the person to be able to do what they did? And it starts to seem as if they're getting away and you're being punished for, or you feel like I was being faithful to you, Lord. I trusted you. And I'm the one that's having to look like the fool, or I'm the one that's having to suffer. And these people are getting away and nothing's happening to them. And you have to fight against the urge to want revenge or to be bitter. You have to war with yourself to get back in that secret place with God and trust Him with all of you. Be vulnerable with Him again. But healing will show us that God didn't leave us while we were in it. But he was right there with us the whole time, walking us through it. Because how can we know God as being our peace if our peace is never disturbed? How can we know God is being our heart fixer and our heart mender if our heart is never broke? If it's never broken, how will we be able to see God as our mind regulator? If we never are put in situations where we feel like we might lose our mind or we might not make it out of it, how will we know him as our protector, as our provider, if we never feel uncovered, if we never feel that we're lacking things? We'll never know that everything we need is in him if we're never going through anything that puts us in a place where we feel as if we have nothing or we have no one but him. So your breaking is an opportunity for you to see God as your strength. Your breaking is an opportunity to be made whole, to be made over. Because the break didn't destroy you, but it revealed you. It reveals your true self. It reveals how strong you really are. It reveals your purpose. It reveals your calling, because the very thing that broke you is now a testimony that you can use to help to set someone else free, to help to encourage them, to empower them to continue when they feel as if all hope is gone, when they feel as if they'll never be good enough, when they feel as if they won't bounce back from losing everything. Today, I want you to ask yourself, am I running from the process? Am I running from the process? Who or what am I still grieving? Ask yourself, who do I need to forgive? Including yourself. And ask yourself, am I ready to heal for real? And not just keep pretending that I'm okay. If this speaks to you, I want you to drop "I'm healing" in the comments. Because this is a safe space. And we're doing this together. You're not in this by yourself. For the next 12 nights, we'll be here at 8. Diving into the other chapters of Broken Rib Created to Heal. So if you haven't already went to BridgetDruey.square.site to purchase your copy of Broken Rib Created to Heal, then now is the time to do it. And we will ship that copy out to you. I will put the link in the comments here on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And you guys have an opportunity to get your book, and you can go along with us and dive deeper into all 13 chapters. But until tomorrow night at 8 p.m., you go and be healed, whole, and free. You guys have a blessed night. And thank you for tuning in.